Okay, hey guys, I decided to do some more of my quick meals, my all-in-one or pretty much all-in-one meals that I'm going to cook and then dehydrate it to save money, to save water whenever it's needed the most, and in case of power outage. So I've already rinsed these pintos. I don't know how many this is, I'll be honest with you, because a lot of times I just take my beans and I repackage them or put them in my working pantry, and I don't measure. It is what it is. So I'm going to do the quick soak method. I've put them in there. I don't know how much water. I'm just going to cover them with water. I'd say that's about an inch over the beans themselves, and then I'm going to turn them on and I'm going to fast boil them for a few minutes and then cut them off and then let them soak. It's called the quick soak method rather than overnight. Alright, so now the beans have been fast soaked. And then I got sidetracked with a little bit of Eastern Scarlet King Snake episode. But I poured out the water that was in it when they were fast soaking. I've rinsed them very well. I'll put them back here in the pot. And I'll put some water in it. With beans, I'll put way more than I need because you just pour off what you don't want. And I am going to go ahead and season. This is just some garlic salt. Since my ultimate goal is to do this to where it's dehydrated, so that I can make it for hopefully a longer shelf life, I'm going to put some parsley flakes. Don't have any idea how this is going to be. But if it hadn't been for the fact that I'm hoping to make this shelf stable, dehydrated and shelf stable, I would be putting some ham or bacon or something like that in. But I'm not going to because of that. I'm going to put a little bit of basil. Cut that on. I should have already had it on. And then I'm just going to put regular black pepper. And then I'm going to let it cook for an hour or whatever. And then we will get back to it. Okay. Now, what I'm doing here, the beans aren't completely cooked. I don't want them overcooked. I want them just cooked. But if I overcook them, oh well. Here is onion, sweet potato, and carrot. Didn't measure it. I'm just going to put that in here. What I'm trying to do, making some of these foods be like ready to eat or instant, just add hot water kind of meals, is trying to bring up the nutrient level. Bring it on up. I want it to taste good, but depending on how crazy things get, I'm going to be thankful that I have food, and I want to make it as nutritious as possible. And I'm going to put some of this chopped frozen spinach in it. Never done any of this before, so I'm flying by the seat of my pants. The good thing about being raised in I hate to call us poor, but we really went from penny to penny and paycheck to paycheck, and I'm the oldest of 8. I keep saying that for a reason. We did not have the luxury of picking and choosing to only eat things that we liked. There was times we ate what was available and we were glad we had it. So I'm going to put this in here. I was going to make some rice to put in here too, but since I got these taters in one of my farm share hauls a week and a half ago, it may even be almost 2 weeks now, I need to go ahead and use them up. They're starting to get little eyes on them. So I'm probably going to do like some hash browns like I've done in one of my other videos, and then I'll combine the two, pinto beans with vegetables and hash browns. I won't add a meat because I want to make this as long-term shelf-stable as possible once it's dehydrated. And some people say that the meats, especially meats with some fat on them, makes that less and less likely. So I'm going to err on the side of caution and going to try to have food that is kind of instant food, add hot water food. Alright, now I have cut up potatoes, the ones that I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little bit of just plain old classic olive oil in here. These, since I'm ultimately going to dehydrate them, oh, that's dripping. Well, what a good strainer, she said sarcastically. I've done these really small to hash brown them because I am planning on dehydrating them. I probably should have warmed that up a little bit more, and I soaked them in salt as they were soaking in the water to help season them, but I do have some seasoning in here. The beans I put over here, and I'm telling you, those beans with vegetables are starting to smell good. That's have to say. I keep saying I'm going to pull out some of the cast iron. I've never really used cast iron very much. I have one or two of them, but I seldom ever use it. And now I'm just going to sort of brown these. Cook them a little bit and brown them. Here's the here's the beans with the vegetables, and I tell you, they are smelling good. So I will be back. Okay, I didn't brown them really darkly, but here's the potatoes. Here's this. Yeah, I mean, maybe you can sort of kind of see with all those vegetable goodnesses in there. I didn't drain all the water out. I may wished I had. I drained a good bit of it out, but I saved the broth that I drained out of it. Now this is just potatoes, the salt and pepper, and that was all. Now I'm going to stir this all together. Like I say, I've never really made this. I have done beans and potatoes, and I was very pleasantly surprised. There we have that. Ultimately, this is going to be dehydrated. Alright, I'm going to do something else I haven't done. This is the Armour version of Spam Treat. Some people say they like that better than Spam. Others don't. I'm just going to put just a tiny bit of that here. I've already opened it up and put this down here. I'm just going to turn it like that, and I'm going to slice it yay so. And I'm only going to do a few right now, because I may cut this up and put some in this beans and taters just to try it out. Well, no, I think I'm going to go ahead and cook it all. I say this is new to me. I have eaten Spam and Spam type things several times in several different ways. I've even just fried it up like it is, just like this, and eat it with eggs. I love it with Spam and pineapple sandwich, toasted bread and mayonnaise, salt and pepper, maybe some lettuce. So we got this on going. Okay, I'm just browning it a little bit. I flipped it one time. And you don't really have to brown it. It just does something to it. This Spam and treats and even the Great Value luncheon meat or whatever they call in that comes looking in the same can, they're all done. And again, I want to say probably none of this is healthy per se. Now the beans and vegetables may be. They're probably a little less healthy with the potatoes in them. But this is for when SHTF happens or an emergency or, you know, whatever. High prices. I don't know. So I'm going to flip these again. Yeah, see, some of those are getting really, really nice and brown. Some people will even do it until they're crispy. You do you. We're all different. Test it. I like things crispy quite often, and it may be because so many times I've done the burn and serve method. I get busy doing something else, get distracted, and all of a sudden, burnt. I've learned to eat burnt. In fact, I've learned to like crispy. Okay, now I'm starting to dip them up. If you don't like them that done or crispy, then by all means don't do it. If you like it even more crispy, then please do so. We live in a world that seems to act like when we show y'all some of these things that, oh, I don't like it that way, then don't do it. No one's making you. I may be old enough to be your granny, but I have no children, so I can't be yours unless I adopt you. So let me finish. I'm going to let this cool off just a bit, and like I said, what I'm going to do is cut up just one of these up and maybe try it. I already cut that off, and I may try it in with here just to learn something, just to see how it goes. This is when we need to be experimenting. If you're going to make a mistake, do it now. Okay, let's see how this goes. Already tasted it just a little bit plain, and I did already ask God's blessing over it, as I try to do each time, but I'll be honest with you, I sometimes forget. Just show you what it looks like. Like that. Let me taste that. Yeah, I like that. Now here's some of the, I'm still going to call it fried Spam even though it was treat. Let me try that, just a little bit on there. And see how that goes. I sure hope you can see that on here. I like that too. I think ham or something like that would have been better. I'm not as huge of a treat fan as some, but I'm a fan enough of it to where when I get hungry, I'm going to be happy to have any and all of that. So in case that wasn't in the thing a while ago, there this is, and then I will dehydrate it. But in case I do its own separate video on that, I'm going to read a little bit of scripture here. Matthew 5, chapter 5, verse 3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. And blessed are they that are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Rejoice, 11, verse 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you, falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted thou the prophets which were before me. And ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost its flavor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but be cast out and be trodden under feet of men. So, there you go. Be blessed. I may come back on after this is dehydrated, or I may do its own thing. But just in case, be blessed. I love you. God loves you. Have a wonderful week. Alright, I probably will tack this on at the very end of that other video. This is completely dehydrated. I mean, I let it really dehydrate a lot. Now I'll put this in that jar, but I wanted to show you kind of all stages of what it looks like. Here it is in a jar. Can you hear how dry that is? And I didn't put a whole lot of water, and I didn't put a whole lot of the stuff in here. But I'll show you what this is. Pretty much rehydrated. When I'm standing beside, whenever you see things really off-centered, it's because I'm beside the camera, and I should have somebody standing behind the camera. So this is what it looks like rehydrated. Let's see. The potatoes probably needed a little bit more time to finish rehydrating, but that's still pretty good. And I bet you this is one of those things that if it come down to it and you were in a pinch, that you could eat it just dry like this. Okay. So that will conclude this particular video. I will say, I'm hearing things that putting onion in your food that is good for people, but onion is not good for dogs. If that's true or not, I don't know. Some of y'all know, just like I do, how many things used to be fine and now it's not. Then it was fine and now it's not. Or vice versa. I think I said that same thing twice. Anyway, I'm not going to feed this to my dogs because I will put that I put onion on it. I'm getting them ready to do them some more dog food with chicken livers and gizzards. Alright, this one is done now. Mission accomplished. Love you. I don't know if anybody's going to stick to the end, but that's what it looks like dehydrated. And with it being that dry, I will wait till this is put in there. I'll vacuum seal it, and it should be very shelf stable. That is dry, dry, dry. Love you guys. Take care. Be prepared, inside and out.